there, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. You might seem like Teresa and I had actually spoken to each other before we wrote our speeches today. I don't know how many of you have heard of 4-H, but it's a program that's kind of a mashup of FFA, um, economics, and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Each project you do in it, you're required to do a demonstration. So some years when I had 12 projects, I had to do 12 demonstrations. And I was very, very shy. There are a lot of pictures of me staring intently at the floor or my shoes, never to make eye contact, speaking very, very quietly, to the point where people still find me from high school and college on Facebook and say, "Oh my God, I didn't even know you talked." So if there's a fire, we would have been in trouble. Thankfully, I've had a lot of things to help me along the way. I identify as a multifaceted, electric, eccentric, and eclectic person. And I love interacting, but I'm ADHD. So I will sit here and think about how lovely it would be to talk to you while you sit way over there and have a very good time talking to everybody else. And it becomes really a struggle to feel like you belong and to interact with other people. I don't quantify myself as broken. I quantify myself as neurodivergent. And the difference between neurodivergent and neurotypical is this: one's an iPhone, one's an Android, different operating systems, both are still phones. So within the iPhones, they all work together. Within the Androids, they all work together just fine. It's only when you throw all the phones into a basket that you start to have a little bit of problem. You have to redo some rewiring. I still want to break the ice. I so want to be able to walk up to somebody and say hi. And I have learned how to force myself to do that. But normally what happens is I hear somebody talking about a topic and I get really excited. I want to wave my arms and go, "Me too, me too." And just jump in there. But it's a little like you're trying to jump rope and you can't quite figure out when to jump in so that you don't trip up. Or you end up tied up on the ground like some sort of Thanksgiving turkey, out of season and inappropriately. And sometimes you just burst out and interrupt, and then someone will talk to you in what they hope is a tactful fashion, but it's often quite hurtful, about how you should just learn to stay in your space until it's appropriate. Today's expectations are different. We're supposed to sit still, we're supposed to make eye contact, be relaxed, speak slow, not interrupt. And I'm sorry, most basic topics, because we all have to start at the starting line, are boring. I don't want to talk about the weather. I want to talk about quantum physics. How do we get there? I consider myself a deep well FOMO. What that means is that I like to jump into the real meat of something, but I still have the fear of missing out. So as an ADHD, understand that we do things differently. If I interrupt, it's usually because I have a question for clarity or some sort of interesting factoid. We have a wide variety of listening poses. This is because we try to reduce visual stimuli so that we can focus more on what you're saying. So if I'm just staring at you in the eye, I'm probably gone, thinking about something else. And we express ourselves with movements, random gesticulations, and verbal non-words. And if we have a chat portion, because it's on Zoom, I will respond as if that chat had been vocally presented. I want to tell people a story. I want to tell them that I understand. So I hear somebody telling me a story, and I immediately give them a similar story to show them I have similar experiences. However, most neurotypicals think this means that we're trying to take over the conversation and trying to show that we're more important in some way. And it's not. We're just trying to show that we can get along. We're not stealing your thunder. And what happens is because neurotypicals came along first, that style of communication is what everybody is trying to force into those of us who are not. So we have very different Zoom meetings. They're quite loud. I've been ostracized, excluded, and forced to apologize. When normally I would just bookmark your conversation, come back to it later, as if we never stopped talking about the topic. Life is changing and getting better as we all have better information and better understanding of each other. 4-H, speech and debate, and Toastmasters have helped me discover many different paths to be able to communicate with my fellow humans. Please know there are many common styles on a journey where we're practicing, improving, and lifting up. So search for a common denominator, and I'll listen intently, find that commonality, jump up like you are a rock star, and wave my hands, me too. What I'm really trying to say is that I really like you. I really, really like you. Can you like me too? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honorees, thank you.